Hello guys and welcome to the Flying Olive. Today this is my first vlog, so be gentle, I'm a little bit nervous. But I wanted to talk about something that I find quite important because I do it in my day-to-day life every single day, and that's budgeting. So as a student, I have very little money to begin with and even less money for things like food and, it's ridiculous, bills are so high nowadays. So I have to budget quite a lot, and I'm not only feeding myself but my boyfriend as well most of the time, and he's a big eater just like I am. So here are my top tips to feed 2 people on £20 a week, or if you're just feeding yourself, then it's you for 2 weeks rather than a £10 week, if you see what I mean. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, so first things first, this is the biggest problem I find with like my friends and students and people like that. Don't be afraid of Lidl. Okay, Lidl and Aldi, those cheaper supermarkets, are incredible, and any worries about the quality being compromised or not being able to get everything that you want is completely unfounded. In the place that I live, in my town, I have a Lidl, and then just across the road is a Tesco. So usually it's not too bad for me to shop at both if I feel the need to, but most of the time I get everything I need from the Lidl, and it's incredible. I once had an occasion where I bought everything on my shopping list, bar 3 items, for £12 in Lidl, which is really amazing. And then I went to go and get the remaining 2 or 3 things from Tesco, and it cost me £8. What? Like 3 items for £8, and that's not unusual for Tesco. So just think about all the money that you'll be able to save if you start, going towards the cheaper supermarkets. Just because it's from Tesco or Asda or Morrison's or Sainsbury's doesn't mean it's automatically better. Okay, so one of the things that definitely saves me more money, and the second thing on my list, is writing a meal plan. That's it, the whole week, Monday to Sunday, write a meal plan. That way, you know what you're eating, you can plan around big events. So say you're working on Thursday and Friday, if on Wednesday you decide you're going to have a massive lasagna, that means that when you get home from work, you could just pop the rest of that lasagna in the microwave. Done. And that's 3 days on 1 day's budget. See what I mean? So you can plan healthy meals, you know you're getting all of your food groups and all your vitamins and stuff that helps you move and think and do all of that crap. And you know what you're buying. So once you've had your sort of meal plan sorted, you can go to the shop and say, this is what I need for my meals this week. Done. And it saves you so much time and money than just sort of buying random food and deciding you'll maybe make something out of that and maybe make something out of this. It really, really gets rid of all of that sort of waste product that you end up not using. My third tip for saving money, on the same kind of track as your meal plans, is to write a really organised, categorised shopping list. So I like to split mine up into 4 or 5 different categories. The first is what you need for your meals. So you go through your meal plan, decide everything that you are possibly ever going to need for every meal, and write it down on a shopping list. Apart from the stuff that you know you've already got, so there's no point buying more pasta if you've got 6 bags of pasta in your cupboard already. The second one is hygiene. So do I need more loo rolls? Have I run out of bathroom cleaner? So things that you're going to need for that sort of stuff. The third is my store cupboard. So I like to try and buy 1 thing per week that sort of fills my store cupboard. So not something that I'm necessarily going to need for the week's meals, but something that will benefit me in the long run. So this includes things like pasta, rice, mashed potato, frozen chips, peas, and things like herbs and spices. Do not underestimate herbs and spices. They can turn a really drab, feeling sorry for myself, simple pasta and tomato meal into, this is actually quite nice. So Really helps you feel a little bit more homey if you've got things like herbs and spices, so don't overlook them. Then another category is extras. So this is only if you've got money left over, and a student's biggest problem usually is that they put this category first and then they sort of forget what they actually need. So this is only if you've got money left over, but this sort of includes things like alcohol, ready meals, crisps, chocolate, snacks, that sort of thing. Stuff that isn't really benefiting you or making you healthier in any way, but that you just kind of want and fancy. And then finally, I like to have a category all for fruit. I'm a big fruit eater, I love fruit, but it was very difficult at the beginning of the year for me to remember to buy it because, it doesn't go in any meals. When you want a snack, you want crisps. So for me, I didn't really buy a lot of fruit, but I did suffer for it, and I had some like vitamin deficiencies and things like that, which were quite bad. So always remember specifically to buy fruit. Places like Lidl and Aldi, they do massive like potato sacks of apples and for really cheap. So if you buy one of those and just sort of eat through the apples during the week, then you're good to go. Something that I got wrong a lot when first moving to uni was buying more than I needed. So, I mean, it's always good, especially when you're, writing your meal plan and your shopping list. It's always good to make meals that have the same sort of vegetables in them. So, for example, like peppers, like bell peppers, they go really well in pasta and stir fry. So why not have both? And then you can make the most of a 3-pack, and that'll be cheaper. But say you're only going to have one meal that week that's got carrots in it. Don't buy a 6-kilogram bag of carrots. It just doesn't make sense. Because although the individual carrots in the bag will be cheaper, you're actually paying for way more than you're going to use. So if you've got something like that and you're only going to use it once that week, just try and buy it individually. I think individual carrots are about 8p. So it really doesn't, profit you in any way to buy a big bag just because the individuals are cheaper. So just remember to buy only what you need. But on that same note, something that, my mum drilled into me was a good idea is batch cooking. And I'm sure you will have heard this before. Everyone knows that batch cooking is a good idea, right? It is a good idea. Again, if you're going to make a cottage pie or something that's quite big, why not make it huge? If you make it huge, then you've got enough portions for you for the next week, as long as you're not too sort of fussy with it. Or, if you make a little bit more pasta than you're going to have for dinner, have it for lunch the next day, and that saves you money. Things like curries and chili and pasta sauces, they can all be made in bulk and frozen. And it's cheaper, easier, and it means that one day when you come in, you just can't be asked to cook, and you've had a really shitty day, and you just want to have way more pasta than you should, then bam, freezer. I froze like 6 litres of pasta sauce the other day. Done. Problem solved. So, batch cooking, good idea. My final tip is just to decide what you will not compromise on. So I had a friend that refuses to buy cheap toilet roll. Fair enough. Me personally, I'm lactose intolerant, so I have to buy slightly more expensive milk and cheese and things like that. So you've got to decide what it is that you will not buy cheaper. There are some things that I recommend not going cheap on. So, things like alcohol, expensive meats, coffee. So, draw the line and say, I am not going to spend less on X. I want expensive toilet roll, or, I need expensive shampoo or something like that. Decide what you won't compromise on and then budget around it. So because I can't buy, lactose-free milk only ever comes in one size carton. So even if I only want that much milk, I've got to buy a massive carton. I can't buy the little ones. So I've kind of got to budget around what I have. And you should do that too. So if you want you know, expensive shampoo or toilet roll, then maybe you've got to skimp out and get cheaper coffee. Do you know what I mean? So balance it out. Don't presume that you have to buy expensive toilet roll and expensive milk and expensive shampoo and expensive coffee and then not weigh it out on another area, because then you're just going to break your budget. So decide what you're not going to compromise on and then budget around it. Okay, that is it. Thank you for watching, guys. Just to summarise, don't be afraid of the cheaper supermarkets. Write a healthy meal plan. Write an organised shopping list. Buy only what you need. And decide what you're not going to compromise on, and batch cooking. Batch cooking is king. Thank you for watching. I've been dead nervous today because this is my first ever vlog and I hope it hasn't gone too badly. Now the sun is in my face. Ah! Oh, that's better. Yeah, can you tell I'm nervous? I really hope this has been helpful. I'm going to do another vlog and upload it around the same time of what I recommend buying to keep on a budget as well. So there are certain items that I will always have in regardless. I will always have in because they're just money and time savers and they're incredible. So I'm going to let you in on my secrets on that. I really hope this has been helpful. Make sure you like, comment. I'd really love to know if you've got any tips or if you think, you know, oh, what she's saying is bullshit. You know, if you think that I'm just talking crap, let me know. And, you know, let me know what you think and how you budget. Or, you know, you don't have to be a student to budget either. I've said like all of these things for students. But I'm only saying that because I'm a student. You don't have to be a student to budget, and 2 people for £20 a week is good whoever you are. I'm sure we'd all have better things to be spending money on than food. So yeah, basically I'd love to know what you think. I'm really sorry about the really shitty microphone and camera quality. I lost my camera. Yeah, I've just moved out of my student digs and I don't know where my camera is. Or my microphone or anything like that, so I've had to do it on my laptop. I hope it hasn't been too bad. Again, let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Secondly, one of the biggest you're saving something else. This bit has gone wrong. My shit, that went really badly, and now the sun is on my face. Oh no, it's not. My final tip. Fuck's sake, Liv, sort it out. Camera, vlog, That was a bit shocking, really, wasn't it?